Good morning to everyone. My name is Jake Santiago. With me is
Hello. Yeah.
Ma'am Goddess Libiran. We will be starting the press conference. All right, Ma'am.
Yes.
Goddess.
Thank you, Director Jake. I am Yusek Goddess Libiran from the Department of Budget and Management, and welcome to the press conference on the ceremonial turnover of the 2026 National Expenditure Program to the House of Representatives by the Department of Budget and Management. So let me recognize our panelists for today's press conference. We have here the Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management, ang budget bastonera ng MASA, si Secretary Amena Pangandaman. Of course, we also have here House Committee on Appropriations Chair and Nueva Ecija Representative Mika Swansing. Hello, ma'am. We have the DBM Functional Group Head of the Legal and Legislative Group, Yusek Janet Abuel. Functional Group Head of the Budget Preparation Execution Group of the DBM, Yusek Rolly Toledo. We also have ASEC Mary Ann De La Vega of our Budget Preparations and Execution Group. Also present here today is the Functional Group Head of the Budget Policy and Strategy Group of the DBM, ASEC Romeo Matthew Balangkit. We also have here the Organization, Position, Classification, and Compensation Bureau Director Gerald Handa. Director Andrea Celine Magtalas of our Legal Service. And of course, Director Ryan S. Lita of our Local Government and Regional Coordination Bureau. We also have here the Director of our Budget and Technical Bureau, BTB, Director Cecil Narido. Okay, so ang magiging format po natin tatawagin ko po kung sino po yung magtatanong, yung mga nag-submit po ng mga questions kaninang umaga. And then, tayo po kayo, sabihin niyo po kung kanino niyo dinidirect ang inyong katanungan. First question is from Ms. Kath Forbes of Radyo Pilipinas. Forbes.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. My question po is for both kay Sec Amena po and kay Kong Mika. Regarding po ito sa pinakamainit na issue po ng flood control projects, baka po mabigyan niyo po kami ng detalye sa kung ano po yung total budget allocation for flood control compared po from the 2025 NEP and yung GAA. Tapos po, maitanong na lang din po namin, ano po yung magiging mechanisms natin ngayon para po masiguro na yung budget allocation at yung mga projects na ito nasa tamang lugar, tamang magagamit at hindi na po ulit magkakaroon po ng ganitong kabigat po na issue.
Good morning, Kat. So, magandang umaga. Before we start, I'd just like to inform everyone po na for those who want, kung gusto nyo po makita yung National Expenditure Program po natin at lahat ng mga libro na kasama po yung budget and expenditures and sources of financing, the staffing pattern, all the volumes, lahat po, live na po siya, nasa DBM website na po siya kasama ng President's Budget Message. So if you want to go through the President's Budget, pwede nyo na po buksan sa website ng DBM. Okay, for the flood control project, what we have for 2026 National Expenditure Program is 272.3 billion pesos po. 272.3. Tama. Wait lang. The total is 274.926 to be exact. Yung 272.333, it's under the Department of Public Works. While the remaining 2.593 billion po is under the Metro Manila Development Authority. Okay, these projects po, as I mentioned kanina, ito pong mga programa na to ay pinopose nung dalawang ahensya. So when we went through the budget preparation po, we asked them dun sa aming budget call na dapat pinagplanuhan, hindi lang walang plano, pero may proper planning at may corresponding FS and studies, yung mga flood control projects na nakapasok sa Department of Public Works and Highways at MMDA. So expect them to fully complete and tama po yung mga lugar na pinaglagyan nila ng flood control projects. Maybe when they go here in the House of Representatives for their budget deliberation, they can explain further kung saan nakakalat yung mga projects na yan.
So in terms of the details of the NEP, I will defer to Secretary Pangandaman and the DBM family for that. But on the part of the House, when we do our assessments in general, the President was very clear when he presented a few days ago which areas were most flood prone in the country. The President listed all the provinces, and my province, Nueva Ecija, was part of that list. And we will make sure that the flood control projects will be focused mostly on those areas. Kasi yun identify as the most flood prone. We will also coordinate with the respective RDCs and the respective regions, because there should be like an overall flood mitigation plan for the different areas. So those are the things that we're going to look at in terms of the need. So yun essentially, that's the mechanism that we will employ on the part of the House to make sure that the flood control programs and projects that will be there in the GAB and then later on the GAA will really be in those areas where they are most needed. So yun po. Thank you, Ms. Kat.
Thank you very much. Okay?
May we invite si Ms. Yayam Dizon? Mr. Yayam Dizon, social media influencer, for the next question.
My question is for Sec Pina. Ma'am, amidst all the tensions and unrest in other countries, like in Gaza and other conflict areas, do you have programs directed to our bagong Filipinos, to protect and assist them? And if there are any, how much is budgeted for them?
OFWs.
OFWs.
Budget ma'am to protect our OFWs.
To protect us and assist them.
Yayam, hi. Good morning. Under the Department of Migrant Workers for 2026 SNAP, meron po tayong 10.202 billion po na naka-allocate na budget para sa kanila. Out of that po, merong 1.2 billion pesos na allocated para sa isang programa po nila, yung Action Fund. Agarang, Kalinga at Saklolo para sa mga OFWs na nangangailangan. This will provide assistance to OFWs including repatriation, shipment of remains, evacuation, rescue, and other analogous help or intervention to protect rights of the Filipino nationals. Tapos, meron din pong 1.287 billion pesos po for the Emergency Repatriation Program. Nagbibigay din po ito ng assistance in bringing back distressed OFWs and human remains during crisis such as war, epidemics, natural and man-made disasters or similar events affecting the OFW employment. Meron din po diyang, ang mga suporta po dyan ay pwedeng in the form or transportation, temporary shelter, food and hygiene kits, mental health services, cash and medical aid, funeral services po dun sa mga pumanaw, immigration-related fees and other support for shelters of OWAS 24/7 services, sir.
Okay? Thank you very much, Sec Mina. Next question, Marco from Philippine Star.
This question is for Secretary Mina. Ma'am, I just want to know, House Speaker Romualdez earlier said na magkakaroon tayo ng open BICAM. So, paano po ba yung mechanism nito? Ano po yung specifics? And at the same time, paano po natin may iwasan yung mga, sorry for the lack of a better word, but backdoor communications?
Yung chairman natin ang sumagot dahil prosesa nila dito yan sa Kongreso, yung BICAM.
Thank you very much.
Yung microphone.
Hello?
Hello? Ayan, better.
Umaandar ba yan?
Opo. So there are ongoing talks between the House and the Senate. I am in very close coordination with my counterpart in the Senate, the chairman of the Committee on Finance, the Honorable Senator Win Gatchalian. So in terms of the, I guess the rules of engagement and the nuances in terms of the BICAM, ongoing pa po yung discussions. But the goal really is the BICAM would be mostly focused on reconciliation. Reconciliation meaning looking at the disagreeing provisions between the two chambers. And it's going to be, we're going to try to make it as open as possible in terms of visibility on what those disagreeing provisions are and what the agreements are. So perhaps at this point po, as the dahil ongoing pa po yung pag-uusap sa pagitan ng Senado at ng Kongreso patungkol po doon sa mismong open BICAM. If we may get back to you po once more of the details are ironed out in the coming weeks. Thank you po.
All right. Thank you, Chairperson Swansing. For the next question, may we invite Ms. Tina Panganiban Perez from GMA.
Hello.
Good morning po to all. Secretary Pangandaman, can you please give us a breakdown po of the confidential funds in the 2026 proposed budget? Like how much po will go to what agency? And for Kong Swansing, how will the House Committee on Appropriations po assess the confidential funds allocation?
Good morning, Tina.
Morning po.
For the confidential and intel funds, for 2026, National Expenditure Program, ang total po ng Confi and Intel is 10.77 billion pesos. Ang breakdown po nito is confidential is 4.368 billion at ang Intel po ay 6.398 billion pesos. Ito po ay bumaba from the GAA ng 1.35 billion pesos or 11.18%. Breakdown. Hindi ko ito po, hindi ko po kapabasa. Blurred siya. Okay. Sa total na lang, Ms. Tina, and then I can give you, kasi may breakdown eh.
Yes, Papa.
So for the, ito. Ayan. So ang pinakamataas po is Office of the President with 4.5 billion pesos po. Next is the Department of National Defense with 1.9 billion pesos, 1.848 billion pesos. And then, other executive offices po, maraming breakdown. Kasama po kasi dyan yung Anti-Money Laundering Council, Games and Amusement Board, NICA, National Security Council, Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity, Philippine Drug Enforcement. Yung lahat pong yon merong 2.292 billion pesos. Pero ang pinakamataas po naka-receive dyan is yung, of course, yung NICA po with 1.471 billion pesos. And then the rest po are Commission on Audit will also receive 10 million, Ombudsman with 51 million. Yun lang po. I can provide you po the breakdown.
Thank you po. For Kong Swansea.
Thank you, Ms. Tina. On our side, on the part of the House, we'll assess it based on, so as per the general provisions, there are certain agencies and offices that are allowed to have confidential intelligence funds based on necessity, primarily those engaged in national security and those that have police and enforcement powers. So yun po yung magiging batayan natin sa ating pagbalangkas ng mga proposals pagdating po sa confidential and intelligence funds, kung alin lang talaga yung mga opisina at mga ahensya na talagang kinakailangan iyon. So yun po, meron po dito sa ating NEP, sa ating general provisions, meron po kasi dong criteria kung sino po yung pwedeng humawak ng confidential and intelligence funds, at yun po yung gagamitin natin na balangkas para po tignan kung magkano at kung aling maahensya yung ating pong pagkakatiwalaan ng CIF.
Kung nabanggit po ni Secretary na bumaba from the 2025 yung proposed for 2026, sa assessment nyo, pwede po bang bawasan pa yun ng APRO?
Siguro po titignan po muna natin kasi po ito yung unang pagkakataon na nakita din po natin yung NEP. So titignan po natin, titignan din po natin yung previous levels, yung trend analysis natin sa mga nakaraang taon. Pero posible pong bumaba, posible ding ma-retain, posible ding tumaas. Hindi po natin masasagot yung katanungan na yun. Makikita po natin yan sa kurso ng mga deliberasyon natin.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Kong Mika, Sec Mina, and Ma'am Tina. Next question is from Dirks Rosal from Manila Bulletin.
Hello po, good morning po. First, Sec Mina. Sec, if you could rehash, when it comes to recipient units, which national government agencies will get the biggest share of the proposed national budget? And can we have the top agencies with increases and top agencies with decreases? We'd also like to know the rationale of such changes. Thank you po.
Okay, tatlong tanong yun ha.
Pwede yung top 10, the usual, no? Number 1, Department of Education with 928.52 billion pesos. Next is the Department of Public Works and Highways, 881.31 billion. Next is Health with 320.52 billion. Next is Defense, 299.3 billion. Interior and Local Government with 287.48 billion. Agriculture with 239.16 billion. Social Welfare with 227.05 billion. Transportation with 198.60 billion. Judiciary with 67.94 billion pesos. And Labor and Employment with 55.22 billion pesos. Gusto ko lang i-share din, no, para malinaw na yung sa health, kasama po dyan yung sa specialty hospitals natin, yung budget nila, yung ating subsidy sa kanila. Lung Center, Heart Center at National Kidney. Meron pong nakapaloob doon na 6.69 billion pesos. And yung budget sa PhilHealth na 53.26 billion pesos. For the Department of Agriculture, nakapaloob din po doon yung budget ng Department of Agrarian Reform. May 17.39 billion pesos doon. At yung mga support natin sa GOCCs na attached sa Department of Agriculture, may 67.84 billion pesos doon. And for the social welfare sa DSWD, kasama po dito yung sa NCSC, yung sa Commission on Senior Citizens. May nilagay po tayo dyan na budget na 3.601 billion pesos. So sa increases, I think relatively makikita nyo po na yung Department of Transportation ang may pinakamalaking increase dun sa total budget from the GAA amount. I think it's more than double or triple pa nga yata. What's the DOTR, GAA? Ano yung GAA ng po ng DOTR is only 87 billion pesos this year. And then the NEP is 197.3 billion pesos. Yun yung may mga major increases. Of course, Department of Education kasi number 1 siya. Department of Health, tumaas din siya. Department of Agriculture, tumaas din siya. Decreases. Or NEP. Nag-decrease. DPWH. Malaki yung increase ng DPWH because and COMELEC. Yan. Kasi non-election year. Isang DPWH. Marami pa po kasi silang ongoing projects from this year's level. If you will, of course, alam naman po natin yan na nag-increase yung 2025 GAA ng DPWH. So marami pa pong ongoing dyan. So kung you'll peg it at the same level, baka mahirapan. Yung absorptive capacity din po ng agency ang tinitingnan natin.
Thank you, Sec Pangandaman. May we call on Sir Haji Camino for his question?
Good morning po. My question is for Secretary Pangandaman. Yung sa issue naman po nung 4Ps, may we know lang po yung difference sa NEP for this year and sa GAA sa proposal po ninyo for next year. I understand na may mga calls to expand 4Ps. There were some naman na nagsasabi dapat daw pong i-abolish na, and there were fears ng budget cut para po sa 4Ps. May we know po yung wisdom behind the allocation for 4Ps, and yung AKAP po ba, mayroon pa po bang allocation for 2026? Maraming salamat po.
Yung 4Ps po, we all know may batas yan, di ba? So, meron yung computation kung ilan ang beneficiaries na binibigyan natin. So, for NEP 2026, we provided a total budget of 112.997 billion pesos. So, intact po yan para sa lahat ng recipients ng ating 4Ps. So, you will see an increase because there's been a reduction from this year's budget. Doon po sa AKAP, wala po yung AKAP sa budget ng DSWD for next year.
So, follow up na po. So ibig sabihin, wala pong allocation for AKAP next year?
Wala po.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next question is from Billy Vegas of Abante.
Magandang umaga po. Kay Secretary Pangandaman po. Tatanong ko lang po kung magkano po yung allocation para sa 20 pesos na bigas for next year.
29.9 billion. National Rice Program. Sana 10 billion po. 10 billion pesos. Tapos, kasi it's a rice program po under the department, it's a flagship program po under the Department of Agriculture. So, National Rice Program. So, meron pong 10 billion dyan for that. And then, nakapasok po kasi siya sa isang programa under that, which is Rice for All. And then, meron 29 billion, almost 30 billion, kasi yung sa RCEP. Yung bagong batas po natin sa RCEP, nag-increase na yung proceeds. 30 billion na po siya for next year.
Ma'am, linawin ko lang, kasama po rito yung yung ina-allocate para po doon sa subsidy.
Yes sir. Kasama po.
Thank you po. Kay Kong Mika po. Kong, totoo po ba na binago yung legislative calendar para daw ma-accommodate na ma-approve ng House yung on third reading yung budget bago mag-break?
So, yesterday po, in-adopt po ng both houses, on the part of the House and the Senate, yung pag-amend po ng legislative calendar. So, instead of ending on October 3, October 10 na po yung bagong end ng legislative calendar before the short recess. So, we're confirming po. As we always do, and as the speaker said po, we will do our best to finish the budget as soon as possible. So we will work hard po, tuloy-tuloy po yung ating mga deliberasyon para po kung kakayanin natin ay maaprobahan na din po sa third and final reading. So we're working on that po. We're going to work as fast as we can at kung ano man po yung kaya nating tapusin by October 10. Maaga din po tayo magsisimula ng deliberasyon dahil ngayon po ay nasa sa atin na yung NEP. Sa Lunes po, August 18 ay magsisimula na po yung DBCC. So yung DBCC, pag kinek off po natin yan ng August 18, tuloy-tuloy na po lahat ng ating mga committee hearings at pagkatapos po nun yung ating mga deliberasyon sa plenaryo. Kaya tuloy-tuloy po tayo mula po August 18 hanggang October 10.
Thank you, Chairperson Swansing. For the next question, may we call on Ms. Mela Lesmores from PTB4.
Hi, good morning po. Kaya Sec Amina lang po yung tanong ko. Ma'am, gaano po kalaki yung allocation ngayon at mabibigyan pa ulit ng pondo yung para sa AFP Modernization Program? And i-relate ko na rin kasi ang AFP din naman, ang dami nilang tinutugunan pa rin problema, nandiyan yung West Philippine Sea. Paano natin in-incorporate at pinahalagahan yung mga isyong kinaharap ngayon ng AFP para sa pagbabudget sa kanila? Thank you po.
AFP Modernization Program po, meron tayong 40 billion, tama ba? Page 12. Sa AFP Modernization Program, we provided 40 billion pesos. Tama ba ako? Walang amount. Ayun. Meron po. Yes. 40 billion pesos. This is an increase of 5 billion pesos if you compare it with the General Appropriations Act. 35 billion lang po yung nakalagay sa GAA natin ngayong taon. So meron tayong 40 billion for next year and ano pa? Ayan, sige. May dadagdag si Asek Rhea.
Asek Rhea de la Vega for BPEG.
Yes po, magandang hapon po. For the additional sources po ng modernization in order to address kasi talagang malaki yung pangangailangan, meron ho tayong batas na isa-batas, yung pong Self-Reliance Defense Act. Kaya po pinag-uusapan, pinag-aaralan kung paano po tayo makakapag-access ng other sources, like for example, yung mga loan or grants. But also in addition to the provision natin sa GAA, meron din po tayong nakukuha doon sa special account nila, yung pong nasa SBMA natin na share niya.
Thank you po. Thank you, Mela. Thank you, Sec Mina, and thank you, Asek Rhea. Next question is from Chris Palerista TV, social media influencer. Yes, sir.
Hi, ma'am. Ang tanong ko po ay para kay Ma'am Amena Pangandaman. Ma'am, tanong lang mula sa 2026 national budget, magkano po doon mapupunta sa LGU under NTA at magkano po magiging allocation nila? Salamat.
Thank you. Salamat sa iyong tanong. NTA. Past 23. Okay. Ang total po na funding para sa, ito po yung tinatawag na allocation to local government units, ALGO po, is 1.344 trillion ang total po dyan na for 2026 National Expenditure Program. And of that amount, 1.191 trillion accounts for the national tax allotment. So if you compare it from this year's budget, automatic appropriations po to, sir. So if you compare it for this year's budget, tumaas po siya ng 158.5 billion or 13% po ang tinaas. Ito po kasi kinukompute po to, depende po, may batas po to and it's automatic appropriation. Kinukompute po to, depende dun sa revenues po ng buong ekonomiya natin and then we give them their share. Yan po, sir.
Okay, thank you po.
Alright. For the next question, may I call on Mr. Ed Sarto from DZME?
Good morning, Secretaries and DBM, and also to Congresswoman Swansea. Based on your briefer, ma'am, the debt burden is already pegged at 978.7 billion pesos, close to trillion already. And this is, I understand, is automatic appropriations. For, hindi ko pa na-browse yung briefer, may we know how much is the proposed planned borrowings for next years to finance this 6.793 trillion pesos. Thank you po.
Okay. I'll ask Asek Romy to reply.
Asek Romy?
Yeah. So, meron tayong deficit na around 1.5 trillion for 2026 and there will be a gross borrowing around 2 trillion. Na hihiramin pa ng ating Department of Finance. So ang mangyayari, pero ang debt to GDP ratio natin from 2025 is already at 61.3% of GDP. We are trying to really move towards a downward trajectory until 2028 magiging 60.3% of GDP. Tumataas yung utang, pero we make sure that our GDP growth would really outgrow our debt increases. So kailangan po natin tingnan natin na yung debt to GDP is actually decreasing over time. Ngayon, paano natin ma-ensure na yung debt to GDP is decreasing? Titingnan din natin yung deficit to GDP. Yung deficit to GDP po natin ngayon for 2025 is targeted at 5.5%. For next year, 2026, bababa po siya ng 5.3 deficit to GDP. So may kita natin na kahit tumataas yung utang, yung deficit to GDP ay pababa po. Ito po ay totoo hanggang 2028. And kung extend pa natin hanggang 2030, meron din kaming projection para dyan na makukuha natin ng 3%, 3.1% to GDP by 2030.
Last question po. How much is the target revenue collection for 2026? BIR and Bureau of Customs and other earning agencies. Thank you po.
Okay, for 2026, yung total revenue collections would be 4.983 trillion, and then yung tax revenues would be 4.6 trillion, non-tax revenues would be 350 billion. And then yung disbursement natin nasa 6.6 trillion. So all in all, ang ating deficit would be 1.6 trillion, and that's equivalent to 5.3% of our GDP. Pababa po yung deficit to GDP.
Thank you, Asik Romy.
Thank you. For the next question, may we call on Ms. Krisha Subing from Inquirer?
Hello po, good afternoon. Balikan ko lang po yung tanong ni Haji kanina regarding yung AKAP po. What is the wisdom behind removing po the allocation for AKAP for 2026?
May natitira pa pong pondo for 2025, and like I mentioned a while ago, we receive a total of 10 trillion pesos na proposal from agencies, and given our limited fiscal space, hindi pa po muna natin siya sinama.
And then, how much funding po will the Build Better More program receive in the 2026 NEP, and what percentage of the country's GDP does this represent po?
Build Better More program, ma'am. How much funding will the Build Better More program receive in the 2026 NEP po? Ilang percent din daw po ng GDP?
5%.
5%.
Okay.
Next question. Last question.
For the last question for this morning, may we call on Joe Capisonda, social media influencer from Kakofi.
Hello po, good morning. With the recent blunders sa flood control projects, syempre nagsisimigyo yung tao sa corruption, transparency, accountability sa public spending o government spending. You've launched recently yung Project Dime. Can you tell us about the Project Dime and how does it really help address corruption issues with the government? Thank you.
Inimbitahan po namin kayo sa formal launching ng Project Dime. Maybe that's in 2 weeks. So it is an real-time, August 16, real-time portal po sa DBM. Kasama po natin dyan ang DPWH, ang UP NOAA, ang DOST, and even DICT. We will, dun po sa page na yon, you will see po line by line lahat ng infrastructure projects po na nakalagay sa ating General Appropriations Act. And you will see there po then sa site na yon yung actual location ng mga projects and then actual implementation stage ng mga projects na nasa GAA po. So, at ang magandang feature din po niyan is that the public can open, and then they can also put in their comments doon sa mga programa na yan. For example po, sa lugar nyo, taga saan po kayo? Kunyari sa Marikina, may proyekto ka doon na isang daan. Nakita mo yung daan nakalagay doon. Hanggang ngayon nakalagay doon, bidded out and then for implementation. Pero pag nakikita nyo po na walang nangyayari until now, pwede nyo pong i-report po sa pangalan. So, ayan. Ibahan din po namin kayo lahat sa formal yung aking project.
Okay, that concludes our press briefing for this morning's turnover of the 2026 NEP. We thank DBM Secretary Amena Pangandaman, House Committee on Appropriations Chair Representative Mika Swansing, and our senior officials from the DBM. for joining this press con. And of course, our friends from the media. Huwag kayong mag-alala, ang dami niyong tanong. Meron pa pong press con tomorrow, 2. And then sa susunod na araw po, meron po ulit press con si Sec Mina. May sasabihin po si Kong Mika.
Opo, very quickly lang po, siguro on the part of the House, Mina Pangandaman for today. Thank you for your time po, Sec. And we look forward to deliberating the NEP and later on the GAP. Yung sa amin po siguro, one important announcement on the part of the House is deliberations kick off na po on August 18. Because before we were looking at a later date, but now that we have the NEP with us, we would like to start the deliberations as quickly as possible. So Monday po, we do the DBCC, and that allows us a lot of time because as we committed on the part of the House with the reforms that we're putting forward, the abolition of the small committee, the move towards an open BICAM, and the engagement with the CSOs, lahat po yun, the reforms would we would like to do that over the course of the deliberations. That's why we want to allow for more time for the deliberation. So we're starting on August 18 all the way through October 10. So yun po, sa panahon na yun, mahihimay po talaga natin yung budget. Yun na po, August 18, we start here on the House. Thank you very much po.
Thank you, Kong Mika. Thank you, Ren, Director Jake. Good morning, everyone.